And now to continuing coverage of a story we first brought you last week of a report detailing how the Kalamazoo Department of Public Safety handled the protests and rallies last summer. Our Marisa Oberly joins us live outside KDPS with an in-depth look at what was in that report. Marisa.
Yeah, Aaron, that independent review found a number of ways in which KDPS could improve, but ultimately concluded that officers did not act with malice during those events last summer.
The 111-page report analyzes how the Kalamazoo Department of Public Safety handled Black Lives Matter protests in May and June of 2020 and a rally held by the Proud Boys later that summer in August. Community members in the weeks after each event criticized KDPS and said officers unfairly arrested people demonstrating against police and racial violence, while the department allowed a known hate group to attack counter-protesters. OIR Group, the California-based company hired to conduct the review, utilized 5 police practice experts and spent months interviewing department representatives, city leaders, and community members, while requesting operations plans, body camera footage, and other documents to further investigate. Based on what it received, OIR concluded strong fundamentals, effective supervision, but mixed results for the May and June events, saying while the department prepared well, which controlled damage and minimized injuries, aggressive enforcement of its plan led to instances that deteriorated community trust, like the deployment of tear gas on otherwise peaceful protesters out past curfew. But for the August event, OIR found KDPS is planning to be quote-unquote questionable, explaining defensive about the critiques from earlier that summer and not wanting to be seen as aligning with the Proud Boys. Officers decided to avoid the march, instead setting up a few blocks back, despite information that indicated violence would likely ensue. Moving forward, OIR listed 40 recommendations for KDPS to improve, among them revisiting its tear gas policy and increasing transparency, which would allow the department to build on its strengths and create clear communication, rigorous self-scrutiny, and openness to reform.
And to read that report page by page, you can visit our website at fox17online.com. Reporting in Kalamazoo, Marisa Oberly, Fox 17 News.
Thank you, Marisa. As we told you, the report was released on Friday ahead of tonight's virtual meeting hosted by the Kalamazoo City Commission and Citizens Public Safety Review and Appeals Board. Our Lauren Coomer listened to that discussion and has more on what some community members had to say about the report's findings.
Community members and activists saying they're disappointed with the results of the third party's 111-page report. Some even voicing they thought the $75,000 price tag to conduct the investigation was a waste of taxpayer dollars.
It definitely shed some light in a way where I think we were left with more questions than we did answers.
5 community members calling in to the Tuesday meeting to share their thoughts on the results. One of those was community activist T.C. Custard, who was there as events unfolded last summer.
After reading through 111 pages of a report, I feel like they coddled the information. I felt they coddled the story.
That's how many of the other public commenters felt as well.
The report had a lot of flaws and a lot of errors in it where things were not discussed. And I felt as much as we paid for this study to be done, that this group that was doing this study should have pressed on Kalamazoo Public Safety to give more details, to give more updates, to give more findings.
While the report listed 40 recommendations after reviewing several incidents that took place between May 30th and August 15th, Custard says she felt like there was not enough transparency.
There was, parts of it where there was some extreme bias. And that's where I felt like those recommendations could have been dug deeper by getting more information.
Custard adding she's interested in seeing how the recommendations are implemented and how the city moves forward, noting a change in leadership may be important.
We want people to get back on the board. The reality of it is this is not just a moment. This is something that we got to continue to apply pressure to and just stay aware.
Fox 17 did reach out to the Kalamazoo Department of Public Safety for an interview regarding the report, but did not yet hear back. Reporting in Kalamazoo, Lauren Coomer, Fox 17 News.